Welcome to The Road Less Traveled, where I talk about every topic that has ever roamed my mind and has led me to this very moment today. Please join me. Welcome back. I'm glad you can make it. The one thing that is hard for most people to understand is that we have an internal and external presence in society. These two things do not have to be separate, but often it happens. People show up differently than how they actually are, and one of those reasons is due to not knowing the power of grounding ourselves. In the chakra system, there are 7 main chakras, and the one at the base of the spine is, in my opinion, the most important, the root chakra. The root chakra is our connection to the elements of ourself, which is real elevation. The root chakra, if overactivated or not getting access, can sometimes feel like pent-up anger, loneliness, and a heavy lack of support. Do your research if you want to learn more about how to best connect to your roots. The best way to stay grounded and control ourselves starts with such things as thought dumping. We know this as journaling or any form of creative writing. So the first one is journaling. Our brains are designed to store a lot of information and compartmentalize a lot of different aspects of our lives. The fact that our brains can do a lot of stuff is a gift in itself. Our brains are supposed to access certain neurons that allow us to upgrade and gain more access to hidden information. What our brains are not supposed to do is store unwanted information or events. It can only function properly with a natural flow. If you are easily forgetful, as I have met plenty of people like this, then it is only a matter of time before we start to see shifts in our psyche. Forgetfulness is a good thing because that means our brains only want us to remember what is important to recall at the time. One way we can start to clear our own brains and start to remember only what is important is by journaling. Journaling is a form of mindfulness that involves the process of writing because it is simply healthy, no matter the event, the experience, or the day. It is very beneficial to thought dump. Revisit feelings that bother us and come to a point of restoration. It is time to stop shying away from talking with ourselves through writing and gaining new insight. We know the answers to our questions before anyone else can figure them out. Our answers come from deep within, and the process of understanding something or just simply getting all the events in our day on paper requires just a little time. It is very healthy for the brain to always be in a state of flow, and sometimes we store negative thought patterns or unwanted events because a clear state of mind or plateau feels uncomfortable, and maybe our brains are only used to feeling chaos. Journaling can become a replacement for addiction if it's respected enough. All we have to do is write. There might be different opinions online, like expressing gratitude, which is great, but for the mere fact that we have to start a process, the gratitude comes later, and in my opinion, naturally. We can also write about things that have occurred and the plans we are excited to make for the future, because that is what our soul space actually wants to hear when we journal. So write about your brighter days just the same. Let your brain support you by clearing your mind. The next one is visualization. I have mentioned before that our fight or flight response is well understood in situations where we have to be threatened. But what if we are a threat to ourselves? Sometimes we are afraid to get out of places, move away from situations that do not serve us in the end. Sometimes we put ourselves in self-imposed prisons in our minds and we think that we're trapped there, that we can never get out. One of the ways to stay protected, because sometimes the threat is outside ourselves, is to visualize a place where we feel safe. Whether it be real or imagined, we have to picture it. The scariest moments in our lives gives us clarity that we need to actually move to a safer place, and we need to move out of danger. When the danger is coming from our own self-talk or an outside source, we have to know that we have to start transitioning. We have to get to a safe place regardless. Think of all the places that make you feel safe. Think of a person who makes you feel safe. Think of those places. What does it look like? Remember, it can be real or imagined. For example, I always have the same cultivation of images that involve a grassy forest, which is an imagined place. And then there's this park I go to often that has so much green, and I captured a memory there that I replay over and over. Basically, 2 dogs catching a frisbee, 2 people walking and talking along the trail, and a tall guy riding a bike. Of course, I had to sit and surveil the area and every inch of the park to get it accurate. If you can't find a place, then think of an important person. How do they look? What distinct features do they have? There was a point in time when I met someone and I never felt threatened by her. I felt so calm around her and I could feel the triggered receptors in my brain just slow down. I did not have to protect myself as closely. After spending some time with her, I registered that she was not going to bring me harm. I pictured this person's features. Usually my top favorite features appear first in my mind, then the rest follow, and also how her voice sounds when I feel an immediate threat around me. My heart slows down and I am back in balance. This requires you to actually study the person who makes you feel safe so you can get it right. It can be anyone that you feel connected to in the heart, no matter the relationship. As long as you love them, that is all it takes to bring you back to safety. It could even be your pets. The phrase, home is where the heart is a great way to think about this. Bring yourself back home where it is safe, and it starts with a feeling already deep inside of us. The next one is meditation. Meditation is a great way to clear our system. Think of all the people you encounter daily, the areas you visit weekly. In general, this is a healthy practice. Sometimes our internal shakeup is simply being overstimulated in situations, conversations, and events outside of ourselves. Sometimes we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders every day all around us. I mean, picture how heavy those bricks must feel if you are carrying anything unwanted in your life right now. It is meant to be heavy, but it is not meant to stay. We take on others' burdens, even in one sit-down conversation, but it is not meant to stay. And then we carry it all week. For some, we must carry it for months, years, decades, or lifetimes. When are we going to release it as a moment and not let it be a part of our path right now? So, I recommend taking a day to eat light and try out some breathing meditation. At least once a week, try to take in a little food at a time and get some alone time to do some breathing. The reason I say this is that food is grounding, but energy is strongest when there is nothing in the way. If you prefer this method after trying it, then keep it. And if not, then shift to what is comfortable. Learning how to control our breathing is something a lot of people do not know how to do naturally. Definitely start by learning how to breathe properly. Guided meditation is a great way to get started because once you learn the counts and the rhythm, you can do it anywhere at any time. I've done it in like the middle of me teaching, so it literally works. Chakra guided meditation is the next one to get used to doing to always stay grounded in yourself after you master breathing. Again, when you get really good, you can meditate on the spot in front of large crowds and still find your center. There are so many different techniques in this area, so you can pick which one you prefer. But if you need a place to start, watch Jason Stevenson's on YouTube. I started meditating at an early age and I was introduced to it by a teacher. Then I moved to Jason Stevenson and branched off from there. Then I was able to do it without any videos, sound, or the act of venturing into a quiet environment. It takes practice though. Now, if you do not resonate with someone's voice, which I have heard before, and I get why this might be, then trust yourself and learn the counts, guide yourself through the breathing, and put some soft sounds in the background. The next one is physical movement, and I'll be talking about this in the next episode a little more deeper. Physical movement is so important. It helps us stay grounded and get more connected to ourselves. It is so powerful to get up and get moving. It is as simple as getting out of our chairs and choosing to move across the room. I mentioned previously about giving your energy a place to go and opening up the doors in your house to let energy out. The same thing goes for how we move to get stagnant negative energy out. We all store history inside of our bodies, and this is the fastest way to get it out. You can take it a step further and run instead of walking, or climb instead of running, but it is up to you. We just have to learn how to get up often. There are so many things getting in the way of the flow. It is crazy. Like for instance, I love my car, but man, did I used to love walking everywhere. Knowing where I was headed was way more powerful on foot. Our cars are mostly a huge part of the issue, why we have to try hard to incorporate the flow. It is one of the reasons we are heavily active, whether it be a sport we play for fun or just the gym. Now, if you do not drive, then simply the home and or job environment can create physical stagnation too, depending on how functional we are in the home or in our jobs. Get your body moving in any way you can, and if you sit down for long periods of time, stand up and exercise your confidence in steps you are choosing to take that day. Every movement or steps leads to greater discoveries, but you have to get up and get going. It is time to get back to ourselves. The last one is cleaning your house. Sometimes I forget how important this one is until I get a glimpse of how others operate, so I do want to bring this one in. I am not talking about cleaning a house in a literal sense, but it can show up as physical cleaning. Some places store a lot of unnecessary baggage in our internal system. When we are not constantly clearing out by doing the 4 techniques mentioned in this episode, it creates literal clutter in our external world. Places such as email boxes, too many tabs on our laptops, unread message threads, too many apps on our devices, unwanted contacts, screenshot photos, harboring a lot of items in our environment, storing a lot of clothes we don't wear, our cars, or just a mess everywhere. It can show up as anything. Clean out your spaces and only store what it is you need. Everything else is just clutter. And if you are not paying attention to these areas, it can start to get overwhelming. It can not only bring about an overwhelming feeling, but you will also have to decide to regain control. We all have the power to get rid of the old and make space for new things to enter our lives. I challenge all of those listening to clean out your house if you struggle to ground yourself, because this can bring back the liberation and restoration that you need to get back to a safe space. I challenge you to only take what it is necessary right now and throw everything else in the trash or donate it. And then go ahead and take out your trash can, not only figuratively, but literally. We have done so much already to get our feet back on the ground, and every day we are making progress. I know that it takes someone willing. I'll catch you in the next one.